So it's been a while since I updated you guys on the 90P. Of course, with so many tanks I have going on now, it's just been hard to kind of keep up with every single tank. But I'm going to try to start doing some updates for you guys for a lot of the tanks here in the next, few uploads and weeks here, so you guys can kind of get all up to date on everything I have going on personally. And obviously, I've been doing a lot of unboxings and doing a lot of other product stuff lately. So I just want to go through and do actually updates on my tank, and especially the 90P, because the 90P has been the last tank. The longest tank that you guys haven't seen yet, and a lot of people have been asking for it, so I thought today would be a good day to actually do this. But last time you guys seen it, it's pretty much hasn't changed. It's just I've been doing its thing. I've been trimming it, just letting it run. Hasn't really changed much, other than like you guys probably have. If you guys don't follow Instagram or anything like that, you probably haven't really seen it since the YouTube upload, and you'll probably see that some of the S-Repins definitely look more grown in, probably from the last update. I will have to do a trim actually here probably next week or so. Maybe even this week. I do water change tomorrow, so I may even trim it then if I have time. But yeah, it's getting pretty high there, but usually I keep it, about a quarter inch thick, really, really thin. Also, yeah, it just helps for better growth. The thinner the carpet, the more the light can penetrate the entire carpet and keep it healthier. Of course, when it gets so thick, light can't penetrate the entire carpet, and so that's when you do go to trim it, a lot of that bottom gets yellow and or even browns out, and that's when it dies. And then you go to trim the carpet, and then all you have is dead Monte Carlo underneath. So the more frequently you can trim it and keep it really thin, the healthier it's just going to be for the long term. So just a little tip there on Iwagumis, or just carpet in general. But yeah, I think the only, I don't know if this was in the last update. Again, I don't even remember what all was going on the last time, but I did end up putting the Nero over here, to where it's more blowing this way, and then I have the output still on this side. Of course, that's always been there. Then I actually moved the CO2 diffuser to this side, so that it's getting distributed by the Nero instead of the lily pipes this time, because the lily pipes, I can't always depend on the flow of it. It's obviously really good once the wazas gets cleaned, but over time, once it's after like a month or two, it gets pretty gunked up, and the flow definitely reduces quite a bit. So that Neo 5 just helps kind of just keep a good amount of flow in here, no matter what, even if the waza can't keep up. And so that's why I put the diffuser over there, so it could be more pushed around by the Neo 5 and really be more efficient at the end of the day. But yeah, everything's been doing pretty good. As you can see, like I said, best rep-ins have really just took off now. Originally, they were taking so long to root out, and I think the main reason for that was there was already such a thick carpet through there that I think it just took so long for those S-Repins grouped roots to just kind of almost penetrate through that carpet. And once it finally penetrated through that carpet, and the roots finally hit the soil, that's when it kind of really almost basically overtook the area of the Monte Carlo, and that's when it did a lot better. But yeah, I've been trying to trim these two. I've been kind of keeping, because like these two right here have been kind of growing in together, and so then it like kind of blocks it. It's almost just like a wall of S-Repins right here. So I've been kind of trimming this path right here, or really right here, the camera, right here. So kind of a clear Monte Carlo path dividing this bush and this bush, just to kind of make it look nicer. I just like the separate areas of the Monte Carlo bush, and then of course over here wrapping around the rock over here looks really, really good. And I do have some. This is called Hydrophila Sharpleaf Red. I don't know if you guys can even see it through the camera, but it's a little bush, and it's actually starting to actually grow in now, so that's kind of cool. But just a little extra detail. I thought right there with like a little bit of this red in there would actually look pretty nice. And it's growing in. I just now realized that it's actually been taking off pretty good. So we'll see what happens there. But I'll try to keep that, all the Monte Carlo trimmed away from it, so it can have its best success. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably have to do a trim tomorrow on this, even though I kind of don't want to, but just because it's a lot of trimming, especially on a large scale Iwagumi like this. It's definitely a lot of trimming for sure. But livestock wise, we still have ruby touches in here. The amount, I really don't know. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like we still have like a group of like 24 in here. They've been doing really good. Everything's been doing really good. I do have like a flying fox in here. I do have a zebra loach. I do have a dwarf chain loach as well in here, but mainly for some of the pestinels that accidentally got introduced into this tank at one point. I don't know how they got in here, but that's mostly what those loaches were in there for. And then I just got all the neorites and monos, which I have a ton of monos in here. Some of them, I mean, absolutely huge. 2-3 inches big, just massive monos in here. But yeah, other than that, it's just it's been just doing its thing. It looks absolutely great. I mean, this thing is just pops. I mean, you can just see through camera. I mean, even in person, it's even better. But this tank is just crystal clear. It's just a good Iwagumi. There's nothing special about it. Almost anybody can probably recreate this. Honestly, there's nothing too special about it. But it's just a nice tank. It's simple. It just looks good at the end of the day. It's always crystal clear. But if you guys haven't been following, obviously this will get rescaped. Because this year the cube tank right here is the contest tank for ADA and pretty much all the other contests. And so the contest tank will go back to this size next year, so this tank. And that's what we'll go with going forward. It will be this tank, because this tank's, more contest size worthy, so obviously we'll go back to this size being our contest tank next year. But yeah, the next scape on this tank, so this tank will be tore down again. I'm thinking by November 1st at least, so basically all of November I can start getting stuff ordered and do whatever I need to do and get stuff redone. And then December 1st is when I want it to be basically scaped, planted, and filled. So that's kind of my plan. We'll see how it happens. The only reason why I just want to do it like a month early before 2023 is so when the contest comes back around, I will have, basically, because let's see, January, February, March, April, May. So yeah, basically that give me right at 6 months, which is like perfect timing for like any tank. I mean, 6 month mark is pretty an established mark, so that just give us plenty of time to do something. But yeah, the next scape on this is definitely going to be wood based. How I do it, I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely going to be using wood in the scape no matter what. So I definitely want to do some type of nature style in here next. The last two scapes have been Iwagumi, and I really want to do something with wood in this size of a tank next. So just want to change it up and do something really nice. I mean, get crazy with I'd love to do all the nature styles you guys have been seeing me do, but do a lot of ferns and do a lot of stuff that wouldn't require as much work for this size tank going forward. Obviously this tank isn't too bad, but the trimming does suck. So definitely, however, do the scape next. If it's just a lot of ferns and epiphytes, which there probably will be, and even if there is stems, obviously if we don't do a whole bunch, it'll be a lot better too. But we'll just see. I honestly, I even thought about it too. It just depends on money is. I have legitimately thought about replacing this with a 120p right here, and I do have the room for it. It's just whether or not I actually want to go do that or not. Because with the space over here, I have to measure it again, because I haven't actually officially measured. I know there's a foot more I can extend out, because I'll see my bed's right here. But I'll just have to see how much more there actually is, in which we can probably do that right now. So see, I got just over 16 inches of clearance from the bed frame to the end of this tank, and of course the spacing over here, 3 inches, which I'd probably keep that amount of spacing for. I'm a 122, so yeah, so basically there would be 4 inches of clearance room between the bed and the bed frame and the actual tank. So I mean, a 120p is like 47 and like 3/4 roughly, or like 47.5. So it's. The only thing stopping me from doing that is just the money wise. Of course, if I do that, I already have a solar RGB. I'd have to buy I would have to buy another solar RGB, which I wouldn't look forward to, but I mean, we could do it. The only thing I'm thinking that would be the reason I could do it is if I can get the tank, which with shipping it'd be like 1,500. That'd be a lot of my choke up, but the good thing is, stuff like the solar RGB, and if I did that, I'd do the full. I'd probably do the full 120p metal stand by ADA. I just don't think I'd hang anything by the ceiling anymore after the last one. Just because how tall these ceilings are, it just kind of sucks. So I'd probably definitely get the stand, which would be an extra 700. Which again, that's like literally the price of the light. But again, I mean, that's probably what I would do. And yeah, it's just the tank's 1,500. You do. the light and stand, the light stand, and then just building another stand in general, a 4 foot stand. I mean, I'd have to think about it. I mean, I definitely would, just because a 120p is like perfect contest size, and I didn't really think about it until now. Now that I'm saying it in the video, I didn't really consider that. I'll have to definitely look more into it, and see the cost, but it'd be very expensive to do. But I think that's something we could definitely look into. Honestly, if not this year, which I think I will just go ahead and stick with the 90p this year. I think that's actually something we can legitimately look at next year, is upgrading this to a 120p. Because honestly, I'm done with setups at this point, and I think next year would be a better spot to do that in, because we do the 90p for the contest tank this year, and I think just to up the game up next year, we can upgrade this to a 120, and that's when every other year the 120 is just going to be perfect size to literally do all kinds of escapes in for the near future. So I think that's actually something I'll actually do. So we'll probably scratch the idea of doing that this year, because now that I'm doing it in my head, the math, it's just like, geez, it's just going to be a little too much right now, especially with all this other stuff I got to pay for. But yeah, so I think 90p, doing one more escape in the 90p, and I think next year we can legitimately look at replace this with the 120, which I'd be really excited to, because I would look. Now, it would just be so cool just to have a 4 foot tank. I like the 90p, but a 4 foot 120p is just perfect contest size. You can just do so much, and then especially with the depth on the 120, 50 centimeters, it's just gonna be perfect. So, but yeah, if you guys have any other questions, anything I missed that you guys want to know about, any other equipment, anything, plant list, whatever you want, just tell me down below. Also, my Instagram is JJ Aquariums. You can follow me on there for more up-to-date, day-to-day updates. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.